Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good Sunday morning. Sunday, February 15th, 2026. It is the day after Valentine's Day. You know us here at Gals. We do normally live stream Saturday nights at 5:30, but I had plans last night with some good friends and we had a lot of fun. So, anyways, because I couldn't live stream last night, I am going live this morning. And speaking of Valentine plans with good friends, I do have for us as a special treat today two of my favorite paranormal couples that I actually hung out with last night. We're going to be chatting with Sue and Nathan and Cybil and Evan in just a few minutes. Like I said, two paranormal investigation couples that I have met along the way. And it looks like Cybil and Evan are here in the green room, and Sue and Nathan are also in the green room. So, all right, you guys, you know me. I do want to get my housekeeping done. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because we have a lot to talk about. Welcome to Gals Valentine's Day special. Like I said, we are interviewing two couples in my notebook. My notes are not staying up. Plan B. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Where were we? And yeah, so before I bring on my friends, I do gotta do my thing. I want to thank everybody for watching on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching live, I really appreciate that. And if you're watching after the fact, I appreciate that as well. Some of my favorite like podcasts and stuff I can't really watch and listen to at the time. So I watch and listen to them later. Do that with us too. Also, while I certainly appreciate all the support on Facebook, I want to, let's see, ask folks. I'm looking for something over here. Banners, media assets. There we go. If it's no trouble for anybody in your spare time after this live stream, if you're watching on Facebook, head over to my YouTube page and like and subscribe. I am trying to build an algorithm here, and YouTube has some really funky constraints. Like if I don't have 100 followers on YouTube, my live stream invitations are only limited to 50, so I can only invite 50 people, which really sucks because I'm how do you get your name out there if you're limited, to how many people you can invite. So I do appreciate any subscriptions and likes on YouTube. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not asking anybody for money. Live streaming is a hobby of mine, and whenever I talk about this being a hobby, this is the part where I give a shout out to Ladybug Pest Control, my day job. You cannot throw your heart and soul into a hobby without a good day job. So I do have to give thanks to Ladybug Pest Control. I love my job and I'm very fortunate. I work Monday to Thursday, so I'm off on Fridays. I spend a lot of time on Fridays doing research for my show. So very, very grateful to Ladybug Pest Control. And let's see. Will and Kathy are in the house. Welcome, Will and Kathy. I'm going to try to keep up with our comments. Glad you guys are watching. As most of you know, Will is my brother-in-law, so he's my husband's brother. So Will and Kathy are my in-laws, and some of you have met Will before. So let's see. Thank you for watching. You've all been very faithful. I'm very, very grateful for that. I am new to live streaming and I am new to StreamYard. Please, if you're going to criticize, please be kind. On that note, I am going to throw out that today is the first time I am working with a green screen. So I hope that you can see everything all right. I think we did kind of a test run with Sue and Nathan, and they said I wasn't like pixelating and my glasses aren't disappearing. But if for some reason it does get weird, let me know and I'll take it down. But I tried to get a good camera. I can see like there's white around my fingers, but I don't really care. That's not bad at all. I tried to research so that I have appropriate lighting. I have an appropriate green screen thing hanging behind me. And again, if it looks funky, let me know and I won't do it again. But also, what you are seeing behind me on the green screen, I'm going to step away for a moment so you can fully enjoy what I'm about to show you. So this beautiful, beautiful print that I have on the green screen. was a gift from my friend Christy. And Christy, I just want to thank you so much. I love this print so much. It's different every time I look at it. And I have the print actually hanging. I'm looking at it right here in my studio. But I thought it was really appropriate for Valentine's Day. It's a heart. I think also I find if you look at there's a tall guy kind of looking down at a woman. It's like a loving pose. I see that in there, and I love that not only do the branches come together in the middle as a heart. Hello, Michelle. But the branches, they branch off. So it's like coming together, but also growing separately. So I really, really love this. And I love the colors. And my birthday is May 1st. So this reminds me very much of spring. Cybil, if you're watching, and Sue, did you guys just see that? I saw that, and this show is being recorded. Let me know in the comments if anybody saw what I just saw on my screen. Go just like that. Let me know. Cybil and I think have seen this before, but we weren't recording, so that ought to be interesting. So anyways, back to what I was saying. My first time with green screen technology, and I thought that this print was very, very appropriate for Valentine's Day. And thank you, Christy. I absolutely love it. And I love it. It's got a place of honor in my studio. Thank you very much. And then on the bigger background, I just kind of put it in the software. I use a smaller camera frame because I have a better camera now. So that kind of explains why I'm this big instead of way out there. Let's see. As you all know, I am my own production assistant, research assistant, and graphic artist. So any errors are mine. Any flubs in the green screen, completely mine. I did do a little research on something that, Sue, I'm going to share with you a little later, but I only did a little research on it. But I've given you something to take the ball and run with, but we'll talk about that shortly. Let's see. And I think before we get into chatting with our good friends, I do want to acknowledge Nancy Guthrie, Mrs. Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie, Today Show host, NBC Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. I feel like I'm goosebumps. I feel like Mrs. Guthrie is America's mom right now. Mrs. Guthrie is 84. My mom is 82. I'm going to visit my mother next weekend, and I can tell you I'm going to hug her, and I'm not going to let her go. And Michelle, you know what I'm talking about because, oh, hi, Christy. And it does look great behind us. Yeah, it does. Thank you for that. But yeah, Mrs. Guthrie, she is America's mom. And we need to put our thoughts and our prayers into bringing Mrs. Guthrie home. So please keep her in your prayers and the Guthrie family, and let's hope that she's okay. But on that note, I do want to get going because I got a lot to say, and I hope you guys have a lot to say. Let's see. There we go. There's Christy saying everything looks great. Like I said, I'm going to try to do my best at being a better moderator today and work on the comments. There is Michelle saying hello. Very important for me to acknowledge Michelle because, as you all know, we are live from Lizzie Lou Studios. And Lizzie Lou Studio is named Lizzie Lou after Michelle's middle name, Elizabeth, and my middle name, Louise. And I wouldn't be live streaming if it weren't for Michelle. So thank you, Michelle. And again, guys, welcome to Lizzie Lou Studio. And all right, so let's give a big gal's welcome to our special guests and our good friends, Sue and Nathan, and Cybil and Evan.
Hi.
Hello.
Cybil and Evan, you guys got to. There we go. Oh my God, everybody looks great. Now I can see everybody. You guys can hear me and see me all right?
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Well, welcome, everybody. I don't even know where to begin. Last night was Valentine's Day. Blaine was my +1, and we hung out with you guys at the Oliver house. And we saw Christy last night. We saw Erin last night. Such a fun night. You guys are the best, and I love hanging out with you. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of introduction. And Cybil and Evan, hang in there. I'm going to introduce Sue and Nathan first.
Perfect.
But keep in mind, guys, this is not an interview. It's a conversation. So, and also feel free to ask me questions too. Okay. But I do want to start with Sue because, like I said, I got something really cool to share with you. So, but Sue and Nathan, it says Sue and Nathan, good, so everybody knows who they are. They're both very, very talented and very nice people. I just can't stress that enough to both of you. I get really filled up when I think about some of the people that I've met over the last 2 years. I'm looking at 4 of my newest best friends, and I appreciate you guys. And you have different paranormal styles. As a couple, you guys really balance each other out. You both have a great sense of humor. You're both super intelligent. And what I find about Sue and Nathan, you're both really, really smart about some of the same things, and you're both really smart about different things. So you bring kind of a different aspect, different facets to things, and you both crack me up. You're both just such funny people. I do want to say about both Evan and Nathan, I am married, and you know that my husband usually does not attend these events with me. Sometimes Will does, and I appreciate that, Will, and we have a good time. But my husband appreciates when I talk about Nathan or Evan, that my husband understands that when I am with you guys, I'm safe. I mean, it's kind of our age, it's kind of our station in life. And I know that Nathan and or Evan is going to open the door for me, even something like that. And that kind of stuff. I really appreciate that. But again, I know I'm safe, and my husband knows that I'm with good people, and that there are men, stand-up guys who are hanging out with us, that it's not schmucks, because you know what I'm talking about. Right. So you guys have great investigative skills. Sue is also a published author, and I wanted to say that this is what I'll be doing this afternoon. I will be reading about the lighthouse. I have the new, is this the latest copy of Morbid Curious, number 11?
No, so there's one after that.
Which you're in as well.
I'm in as well.
Which you're able, I'll have to get my hands on that copy too. Yes. My library is really growing. Yeah. I'm looking, was it page 30?
Somewhere around there.
Yes, yeah, so the thing about this is it's about the Minot Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And you did a whole show about lighthouses.
I did.
About and that one, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait to read this. And also, Sue's style of writing is very informative and yet casual. Like, I don't feel like I'm reading like a formal document. So it's casual, it's descriptive, and it moves at a good pace. So if you can read anything that Sue's written, I highly recommend it. And like I said, that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. So let's see, what else did I want to say about Sue? Sue also, she is what she calls a medium in training. And I think you're getting well past your training, because your mind is going to be blown when I tell you what I got to tell you. So anyways, on that note, starting with you, tell us, as a medium in training, how did you and when did you first discover that you had talents as a medium?
Oh, well, it was a long time ago. I lived in Salem for a while, and I actually experienced like a time slip, which blew my mind. But I also at the time was doing like astral projection and things like that, and just through meditations. And I freaked myself out and just kind of closed that door.
And this is back in the 80s, right?
Yeah, so I'm old.
Right.
Which
so I'm sorry, I just dated us.
You sure did. You sure did. Yeah.
Well, so, she was like a baby then.
Okay. I was an infant.
Right. Now, but that was before you guys met.
Yeah.
A long time.
So just to give us a sense, I know you guys are married. When did you guys meet?
September 24th, 2009.
He always remembers that.
Gold stars, Nathan. Wow. But wait, what was the...
She doesn't remember.
Obviously you do. What was the year again?
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
2009. So okay, so you discovered this back in the 80s. So you kind of knew for a while, Sue, that what did you know? What did you think that you did you think you were crazy? Did you think you were onto something?
I just thought I was different because I am, but
Oh,
I'm unique. So I kind of like, a lot of people didn't really want to talk about, like
love it.
it never came up. But then finally, like in 2017,
Yeah.
about
Yep.
we were
2017.
watching, like we used to watch a lot of the paranormal shows, and we were watching Paranormal Lockdown, and we were interested in it, and we saw the episode on the Oliver House. So we bought
So
tickets.
Sue was like, Nathan, you've got to get me into the Oliver House. And I'm
That
like,
was
how do I
Katrina and Nick,
go?
right? Lockdown was
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
okay. I saw
So
that
we
many
so
times.
we went online and we saw that they had an event. We bought tickets, and then the rest is history. Since then, we've been investigating like any place. We started local, and we've been branching out. And we return many times to some of the same, locations.
Right.
Some of the
Including the
same
Oliver House,
haunts.
which we were at last night.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so wow, yeah, kind of the rest is history, isn't it? I feel like and I think sometimes I sound like a broken record. I talk a lot about Ghost Adventures, and I know a lot of people are down on Ghost Adventures. I am not down on Ghost
No.
Adventures. I do love Zach, I love Aaron, I love Nick, the old ones, I love Billy and Jane and the new ones. But as I've always been a camera techie, a video techie, always. And with Ghost Adventures, those of you who know me know what I'm going to say. With no big camera crews following us around, Ghost Adventures put this in my hands as an everyday average Joe. So I gotta say that was a big factor for me to get involved. Like you said, you see it on the TV shows and you're like, hey, there really is, even with Nick and Katrina, there's no big camera crews following them around, maybe one camera guy, what's his name, Rob? But yeah, which I also think he sings the theme song to that
Oh,
show
really?
as well. Rob, their camera guy, pretty sure he does.
Wow.
Sure he does, yeah. So, all right. So now I want to bring on Cybil and Evan. Welcome you guys too, and we hung out with you guys last night too. Um,
Hello, everybody.
so Cybil, I'm going to introduce you. Cybil is a highly intuitive psychic medium, and Cybil comes from an ancestry of talented psychic people, and you're going to tell us more about that because I'm sure I did not say that well. And I feel like I have to throw this up there. You guys met on Christy's birthday. I think that's what Christy's talking about in September. Yeah, there you go. Throw that up there.
Nathan and Sue
So-
met on Chrissy's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
the first event was her birthday.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
anyways,
Wow.
sorry, trying to moderate everything here. I got a lot of balls there. Thank you for being patient with me. But Cybil, what I wanted to say about us, I feel like Cybil and I are really kind of slowly and carefully crafting a vision of how we would like to proceed kind of as a team doing this. It's not just gals is my thing. Cybil's got her own thing, but we're really, I think together we're looking forward. You got your own stuff, I got my own stuff, but again, really looking forward to
But together we
some
can
of the
conquer
things
the world.
we really can. And I think I'm kind of good at marketing. And so anyways, I think that we're onto something here. But Cybil, growing up in a family that has a long history, and a large family from what I understand, but that has a long history of psychic abilities or medium abilities, how did you first discover that you had talents, and where did you fit into your family growing up, knowing that was all around you?
Well, I found out that I'm a 13th generational psychic medium, and it comes from my mother's side. My grandfather used to do astral projection. He used to go and he would, with the kids would come home and he'd be like, I can tell you everything that's in your pockets. And they'd be blown away. He'd have them all in the living room and doing like healing and all this stuff. And I'm like, and my mom's more like into God, and just she doesn't really believe in this stuff, which makes no sense because it's all angels and
Spirits.
yeah, spirits and stuff. So she's more of a believer now that I keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
But I was like, why didn't you tell me that?
Did you say?
Your father.
Sorry. 13th generation.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, and I told her, I said, why didn't you tell me Grandpa used to do all this stuff? He died. I was little, but that would have been cool to know more about that when he was alive.
And I asked her grandmother
Yeah.
what she thought of all that her grandfather did, and she looked at me and said, she's 92. She said, "I think that's just all a bunch of hooey." So there was always a feeling like, so anybody doesn't know what hooey
Like
is.
you don't believe it at all?
Yeah, she didn't believe any of it. So he didn't have a lot of support, probably.
Yeah.
Now, Evan,
Yeah.
when you and
Hi,
Cybil
everybody.
met, let's see, we've got Carrie just entered. Hi, Carrie, how's it going? Evan, when you and Cybil first met, happy Daliversary. Is that what you called it? Daliversary. That was so cute. We met on Valentine's Day a few years back.
Yeah, boy.
But when you first met Cybil, did you know that she had these abilities, or was this something that you came to discover as your relationship grew?
Well, I first met Cybil a long, long time ago when she was working at a coffee shop. And I knew there was something special about her, but it was about 11 years ago. We were both kind of going through a hard time. And the first time I knew she had abilities was I did this thing. I had my shaver for my head. And she said, "Where's that shaver, Evan?" And I said,
yeah, I showed up at your house.
"Yeah,
and
she showed up at my house." I said, "I don't know.
Try to guess where I hid this,
And I hid it. And I said, "Try to guess where it is." He said, "It's in that cabinet on the left-hand side behind the cups." And it was there. So I didn't think much of that. But as we went on, and I don't know, being with
No, you said, "Is there a camera in here or something?"
Yeah,
me?
I thought she was watching me from somewhere. But as time went on, I realized it would just, first of all, I couldn't get away with anything. She knew everything that was going to happen.
That's a good point.
If I had a cookie 2 days ago, she knew that, but I did start to realize as time went on, it was about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, how talented she really is. And in the last few years, watching her give online meetings and have her do the kind of things she does and just be spot on with things. She's got a pretty good following now, but I just realized, wow, like she's more special than I thought, which I thought she was pretty special.
I totally agree. And Cybil, I think one of the things that I really like about our kind of our burgeoning partnership, if you will, is that you very much have your own things, and I very much have my own things. As much as we like partnering and doing things together, Cybil is still Cybil doing Cybil stuff, and Jen is still Jen doing Jen stuff. So I kind of like that together and kind of that separateness too. And Sue and Nathan, I gotta say the same thing as well. I love that our paths cross, but I also love that we do very different things. And I can't wait to hear more about some of your upcoming adventures and vice versa. I know you've got something coming up in Salem, and I've got some things coming up where we're going to be filming Truth or Scare. So I look forward to, I don't know, we're going to have to plan something that's not investigative. Just go out to eat and just catch up with each other. That's what we're going to have to do, right, you guys? I mean,
absolutely.
I know that last night, Cybil and Evan and Elaine and I, you guys went out to eat. So your brother and your sister-in-law, I hope they're watching, Steve and Christine.
Yeah,
Christina.
Yeah. I love them, and I can't wait to see more of them. But
Right.
I know that you guys went out, but we went out. I went out with Cybil and Evan and Elaine, and the whole time we were just talking about all our different experiences and the things that we had done. And when you're going on a pro night, Christy, to use your language, when we're going on a pro night, you know, last night was really a social, definitely an investigation, but we're going on a pro night. There's no time for that kind of catching up, you know? So we really do need to plan a social thing that's not a ghost hunt, that's just going out to dinner or an afternoon out, and maybe here at my house on my lawn, because I do live on the beach, as I have said.
And Sue keeps saying she wants to go to the beach.
It's been a couple
So,
years.
well, hey,
There you go.
right here, you know, yeah. So
I
we'll have
love
to
when the
plan
5 of us get together too. It's been really, really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always been good. And that's even as much as the paranormal stuff and all that, the people that we meet, like that's some of the best stuff about it is that Sue and Nathan, just a bunch, too many people to mention, but
Oh yeah,
it's just really just a great group of people to get together with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I totally agree. I see that Trisha Lindsay is watching, and I've certainly done. Last year, 2025, Trisha Lindsay and I started our year together, and we ended our year together. We started our year together overnight at the Black Swan Inn in January of last year, and then last year we ended our year in December at SK Pierce together. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah, met a lot of cool people. Excuse me, I have to turn my little heater off. Excuse me.
I've been wanting to go to Pennsylvania a lot, so I know you guys go quite a bit.
Yeah, we've been there a few times. We've been to Gettysburg a few times, and
Or it'd be nice to plan a bus trip or some kind of a trip together and just go and do it, you know?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
yeah.
Well, I was thinking that's what's funny is we would have to, the bus would have to originate southward, pick up Christy in Taunton, Kerry in Bridgewater, work its way up to me in Quincy. Oh, you guys in Fall River, and then me in Quincy,
Bedford.
you guys in
Bedford.
Somerville, New Bedford, and kind of do that route, and then head us out from there. And also, nice weather's coming, guys. And Karen knows this too. I would love an outing at America's Stonehenge.
Mm,
You guys
Oh,
are-
we've
yeah,
done
we've
that,
been there.
yeah, so that would be fun too. But I want to talk about me.
That's my favorite subject.
Well, it is your show.
Talk about me.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows, I don't have any problem with that at all. I do want to talk about me. But in the context of you guys. So hear me out. So I am going to start with what I'm going to do is I'm going to vouch personally for both Cybil and Sue. Okay. I have known them both for a couple of years and have done some really cool investigating stuff with them, but I'm going to start with Cybil. Will, my brother-in-law, at one point, I had said to Cybil had met Will, my brother-in-law, and I said to Cybil, Will has a mystery in his family. Would you be interested in doing a live read? And that's all I said to her. And she said, yes. And that's all we said. Now, I knew what this mystery was in Will's family because Will is my brother-in-law. He's my husband's brother. So I've known about this mystery as long as I've been Jennifer Payne, involved with the Payne family. So for over 30 years, I've known about this mystery. And that's all I said to Cybil. So I think I said that to Cybil on a Wednesday, and we were going to live stream Saturday. It's all we said to each other. And then Friday, Cybil texted me and said, I think two things. Is this about a little boy, and is this a disappearance? And all I said to Cybil was yes. Just that one word, just to verify that. So now Will, my brother-in-law, had sent me some documents about this mystery, and I was able to do some research about the time and the location and the weather and some really specifics about this mystery. We had there was a death certificate involved and so on and so forth. So now we go live, and Will was in the comments, and it was Cybil and myself on screen, and Cybil starts talking, and Cybil picked up on many things. A little boy went missing, very, very cold, extreme cold she was talking about. Go ahead, say something.
I was going to say, before we went live, there was I said, why do I keep getting that other name? Your husband, and ended up being your husband's name, which I never
Michael.
knew your husband's name. Yeah, I said, why do I keep
Michael.
getting the name Michael?
Right, forgot about that. Yeah. So so Cybil had picked up on a name. She had picked up on very, very cold water, and quite a few other, and I'm just not, as she's saying things, I'm just kind of nodding my head, and Will is piping in on a few things. But again, keep in mind, you know me, if I am going to live stream, I'm going to do some research. So I had kind of done my homework. So I am going to, and William Payne, my brother-in-law that I love with all my heart and soul, I don't mean any disrespect, but I am going to condense this just for the sake of time. What had happened, and I think it was 1956. This was before my husband Mike was born. Will had a brother named Stephen who disappeared January 6th, I believe it was, of 1956, from a housing project building from their apartment in East Boston.
Yeah, and there was a window open.
There was a window open. He was 6 years old, and this was January 6th. And how they discovered, I'm goosebumps, how they discovered that Stephen was missing was that there was a window open. And at first they thought that maybe he had gone out to play with his little friends. Well, he was 6, and it was January 6th of 1956. And I did my research, and on January 6th of 1956, Boston was experiencing an extreme cold snap. On that day, there was a high of 6 degrees in Boston. A little 6-year-old boy did not go out his bedroom window with no coat and no shoes and no nothing and sneak out to play with his friends. The sun set at 5-something. I told you I did my research that day. The sun set at 5-something that day. A 6-year-old boy did not go out in the dark in 6 degrees.
Yeah.
So anyways, so Stephen was missing, and certainly the police were involved, and Will was there, and there were other children in the home, and Will's stepfather, or Will's father was there, Robert Payne. Robert Payne was not the father of Stephen and the other children, although certainly Robert Payne was not any, they he went on to father my own husband, so he was around for a while. But, and during that time, their mother, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. During that time, their mother received at least one call that I know of from a kidnapper, saying things, I think, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, saying things like that Stephen was actually being cared for. I don't think they were looking for a ransom or something like that. But anyways, so that was in January, and then
I think I saw a shoe, or they found a shoe and a sock or something. There was a lot of things that I wrote down.
Which they had found.
Yeah.
So Cybil had said that they had found 1 or 2 items, and they had found them. And then also you had picked up on water, and when the thaw came, Stephen was found on the docks in Boston Harbor. In East Boston, in the water in April. So this poor little 6-year-old boy. So I think Will was 2 or 3 when this happened, and like I said, it was before my husband was born. But I'm telling you that story because I wanted to vouch for Cybil, for the things that Cybil picked up on, because we gave her no information at all. Will had provided me with, I had a death certificate, I had a birth certificate, and he had provided me with a couple other details. And again, I had done some research. I knew what the weather was. I knew kind of the layout of the geography, so that we were armed with some information when Cybil did her reading on the air. And also, again, so this brother's name was Stephen, but my husband's name was Michael. And I just thought that was interesting. Michael, part of this family at a later time. So I wanted to say that Cybil, we were really, really amazed at the things that you picked up on with only the information that we gave you is Will has a mystery. Would you do a live reading?
Yeah.
That was it.
And I saw a couple, I think it was a couple men that I saw that took him, or one of them associated with the family. I think I said the uncle or something like that.
Mhm.
So there is something. And then we didn't get too much more into it, which we still could, you know. if
Oh,
you
we
wanted to get
definitely still
further in.
could. And I think that Will is interested and I'm interested. I think,
Mm.
only for lack of time,
Yeah.
So it definitely requires more research. But again, I just wanted to vouch to all of you for Cybil that I personally firsthand put her on the spot and she delivered without breaking a sweat. Without breaking a sweat.
He doesn't break his
So,
sweat.
and thank you for that. And I know Will thanks you for that as well. It was a very, very meaningful reading. So I personally, I have no doubt in Cybil's capabilities. And now I want to talk about Sue's capabilities and what I've seen firsthand that Sue doesn't know about that. So,
Oh boy.
a few months back, well, certainly I've seen Sue in action. I love your investigative style and and again, I love that you bring a sense of humor to it and we're not too serious about it. But we were so fortunate back in December, I think it was, to get into that little place in Quincy, right? Which is the three of
Oh,
us,
yeah.
my friend Gina, and then Jill and my friend Lisa, right? So we got into this little tea room in Quincy. And Sue, you picked up on quite a few things. You picked up on a kid named Jim. You picked up on a lot of baseball. You picked up on illness and injury, like mechanical injury, kind of like bodily injury. You picked up on a pharmacy with a soda counter and a soda jerk, and kind of school sports and that kind of stuff. So I took the ball and I ran with it.
Oh.
And I spent a minute. You know me, like I said, if I had more time, I would present you with a dossier. I don't have a dossier. What I do have are some bullet points for maybe you to do a little more research on. But what I found was, man, you nailed it.
Oh.
Surprise, Sue. Look at the smoke coming out of Sue's ears. Wait till you hear this. Okay. Oh, and I also wanted to add that you were very emphatic on picking up on a name of Jim. Do you recall that as well? But this was all like almost like during the same like session. We did a few different sessions moving around the room. These seem to me kind of to be all during the same old session. And this is what I come up with. So where we were located in Quincy High School is not near there, but it used to be. Quincy High School is new now. And it's closer to where I live now. But Quincy High School used to be, I don't know, maybe a half a mile behind where we were sitting. Okay. So think sports, baseball, all that kind of stuff too. The Quincy, very proud of their sports. Well, on April 5th, 1952, a man was born in Quincy and his name was Jim McNally. He graduated from Quincy High School in 1970. That would have put him at an age where many people that I found online recall going to Miller's drugstore, which was about a quarter of a mile from where we were sitting, with Mr. and Mrs. Miller themselves behind the soda counter, pouring sodas and ice cream sodas for the kids who came in after baseball practice, after school. Okay, so now, not only was there Miller Pharmacy with the soda fountain serving soda to the kids who had played baseball, there was another pharmacy in Quincy that's now closed, but was there for a long time, called Blackwell Pharmacy. Blackwell Pharmacy was a different type of pharmacy. So Miller Pharmacy was your drugstore with the soda counter, probably a little 5 and dime aspect of it where all the kids gathered and that kind of thing. Blackwell Pharmacy was, I don't know, kind of a more serious pharmacy. You went to Blackwell Pharmacy when you needed a walker, when you had to order prosthetics, when you needed a colostomy bag. My point is that Blackwell Pharmacy was a different, and you could probably get meds filled there as well. But it was very much more of a pharmacy that catered to maybe more illness, mechanical injury, that kind of thing, which you picked up on those kind of things too. So two different pharmacies in a close proximity. But I also want to say with the baseball thing, and I thought this was interesting. So I told you about Jim McNally, who played, I think he was a baseball star for Quincy High School, and he graduated in 1970. And Jim McNally went on to become, let's see, I have it written down somewhere. While Jim McNally never went on to play baseball in the major leagues, he did become an umpire with the American League, and he was a baseball professional. And for, I don't know, like he wasn't like a great base, he didn't like retire from it or anything, but for like a year or two of his life, he was a professional baseball umpire with the American League.
Wow.
So I just feel like some of these things that you hit on, Sue, really, I feel like tied up in a neat little box, you know, with a little bow. So I'm presenting you these things, and as a writer, definitely research them some more. But when I was jumping out of my skin, and I wanted to tell you about these things right away. But I saved them for a reason, because I said the time is going to be right for me to present this to Sue. And you know me, I talk about, you know, I can't always sit on things, but I sat on this because I wanted, and here we are with an opportunity to present this. So again, the reason why I'm telling everybody all of these things is because I wanted to give you all my take, my share, my personal experience with both Cybil and Sue, both being very different types of psychic mediums, different approaches with paranormal investigative styles, and yet both of them in different situations really spot on with some information that both of them gleaned during different types of sessions that we had. So I can personally vouch for both of them. So Sue, I hope your mind is blown. I was really, really excited. What are your thoughts on all that I just laid out for you?
I do like when that was all happening. I remember like they walked to the, you know, like I could see people walking to the soda fountain. I could see them sitting at the counter. It was interesting, you know, like old school. And I knew it was like within walking distance of that house, you know, which was weird. And then the baseball thing too. That was, you know, it was important to go to the baseball field, to walk to the field and all that. So yeah, that was an interesting place. There was a lot going on there that night.
We will be going back. I guarantee
Oh,
you.
good.
That's
I
good.
guarantee you we will be going back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then when you were talking about your brother-in-law, so it's funny, the little boy's name is Steven. So like I'm trying to develop like spirit guides, and my first guide is Steven, but it's Saint Stephen. So it's kind of like you know,
but
coincidences.
that's interesting. Sure. It's funny when you open your mind, the connections that you can make. So I think that both of you are very, very talented people, and thank you for letting me share those personal stories about both of you. So Nathan, when Sue is when you see that she's so spot on for something like this, what level of surprise or, yeah, I knew she'd be right about that. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I've watched Sue, like she works really hard to develop her skills. And, you know, there's been a number of times where she's been involved with something where she's doing readings and they turn out being spot on. And, you know, it started out being something where it was like, at first it was kind of surprising, but it's more, you know, like it's it's obviously more than just coincidence at this point
Right.
because it keeps
Yeah.
happening,
Absolutely.
and the other thing is, like Sue was saying, she had experiences way back, um, in the decade that I'm not supposed to mention anymore because it dates us.
When we were young,
But
young
but I
children.
mean, like, she's had these abilities her whole life, and but
Mhm.
it's taken until now, for her to really focus in on them and to really acknowledge them in a way more than, well, like I kind of know things, but now she's actually working to develop them, and so I mean, it's not like it's something that's new, but like I think it's probably the acknowledgement of the ability more in its full extent, and also like filling, it's sort of like filling up the cup in some ways.
Mm.
It's like I have this ability, and then it's like, well, how do I learn more about it, and how do I begin to use it, more to the extent that I might be able to use it, and I think that's what she's doing now, is she's really working to, she knows she has the ability, and now she's really working to develop it, and reach the potential of her abilities. So yeah.
And Ben, I certainly see, Sue, I know some of the folks we're involved with. I see you working very, very hard at practicing and learning. And then I like seeing you apply it. The things that you're learning, you say, oh, I went to this thing with so and so and whatever, and we tried this. And I like it's I don't know. I mean, I'm proud of you too. Let me put it that way. But yeah, I think that in this day and age, it's just so much more acceptable. Evan, I'm gonna ask you a similar question. Let's kind of switch the conversation down to Evan. You've known that Cybil is very, very talented. What is your level of surprise, or yeah, whatever, I just knew, or has there ever been anything that she's done that made you say, oh my God, I had no idea you were that talented,
Well, there's
not
lots of
just
things.
finding the
There's
razor
psychic
and
abilities
paper.
and other things in life. But I think Nathan said it really well. When Sybil started, and she'd come out and say, I was spot on, or I got this right, and I did that, and I'd be like, okay, like that's pretty amazing. And then as time goes on, like it just keeps getting like Sue. She's developing. Sybil like has had this the whole time. But she, like Sue, is developing it and really working hard at developing it. So I'm not really surprised, but I'm always happy with the people that give validation and they don't try to debunk what she's saying, or they, you know what I mean? They leave out information when Sybil gets something right. Because for psychic mediums, my belief is that they need the validation to build their library and their catalog of what they're getting, because they're working hard to bring forth these visions. Sometimes they come, I guess, but it's also work. But there's people out there that'll just they get a kick out of like saying, no, that didn't happen, no, that's not it, and then come to find out later it's exactly what happened.
Or give me a name, or this or that.
Well,
it has to be specifics,
I call them name people. There's the name people. What's their name? Like, if they wanted me to know, if they wanted you to know their name, and she has gotten names, but she doesn't always get names. But there's people that want these informations that she can't. That's not what she's meant to give at that point. Mm-hmm. But I'm not surprised anymore. I'm amazed, but I'm not surprised.
So you really take it in stride.
Yeah, right now, I mean, if she came out and said, holy crap, like I was totally wrong or something like that. Like there was times when she, like things didn't, the person was like, well, not really. And then we were at one place, where was it? In, I think it was in Bridgewater, in the big soccer field or something. They had son of a psychic and craft event, and I was up on the upper level.
Oh yeah.
And I watched this girl, and at the beginning, I kept seeing her shake her head, no, no, no. And by the end of it, she was crying and shaking her head, yes, yes, yes. So, Cybil has different ways of bringing stuff out in people, and then they don't even. One of the first readings she got, the person mentioned somebody with the letter J, and she's like, no.
No, I was like, I can't think of anybody with the letter J. Hello, my brother's first name is,
Jacob,
has a J in it.
He passed away.
So we call that
psychic. You lost.
So we call that psychic amnesia. So when you're getting a reading or somebody's, especially if you're looking for a specific message from a certain person, when somebody else comes through or some other information's coming through, people are like, no, it doesn't make sense. And then later on, they're like, oh, okay.
So no, I'm not surprised, and I really love Sue and Nathan, the people that we get together with, because we can all learn from each other too, and it's really neat to watch everybody as their abilities grow. So
yeah, and I feel we'll always be growing too, and it'd be really cool for me and Sue to go around next time we're on an investigation and see what you pick up on and what I pick up on, and see if we get some of the same stuff, and because I could probably be feeling something and you could be seeing something, or vice versa,
And then what are me and Nathan supposed to do?
You and Nathan, you guys just get together and
what are we like? Just like
you start using your ability
No.
to feel into it. What are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I know Nathan probably feels a lot too. I get a lot just
I
being
feel
around him.
Yeah.
He does. It's like, it's amazing with Nathan too. Like we'll be somewhere and we'll both be like, do you feel that? It's like it starts. When we were in Gettysburg, just quickly, the phantom amputation pains.
Yeah. So we were staying at the Cashtown Inn, and they were going to have a tour of the basement, that night, and we weren't going to be able to make it. So I guess he was like either the manager or the owner. I'm not sure.
We're not sure who he was.
He brought us down there. And while we were down there, my ankle started to really hurt. And it just, and it like I was having trouble walking. And it turns out that, like there were a number of places in Gettysburg, but in the basement of Cashtown Inn, they were using that to treat wounded prisoners. And the way they were treating them was they were amputating limbs. And, so, during the course of the day, it started to improve. And when we left Gettysburg, then it felt completely better.
Yeah, when we finally drove out of town, we were like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's what I get too. I get a lot of that with Cybil, and I'll say stuff to her, but I really don't want to try to. I can't take over the show, but a lot of times I will pick up on stuff that she's picking up on, and she'll say, "Oh yeah, that's right," or she'll just tell me to go away, depending on how she.
Last night I liked how he was like, and I was like, oh, if you got something to say or you're picking up on something, just say it. And he was picking up on names. So sometimes when we go to certain places, like we can pick up on these things. If we don't have anything to validate, then it's like, okay, but that's where the trust comes in.
Yeah.
Somebody's coming through. They gave you that name for a reason. And, it gets stronger and stronger. Our abilities, it's a muscle. The more you use them, the stronger they get, right?
So,
Definitely.
Evan, you were talking about how when people validate things that Cybil say, it's like when you were picking up names, you have to say it too, so that Cybil or someone can validate you. I'm going to say something that Christy, really stuck with me, that she said on one of my first kind of ghost hunts with Christy. If you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something. If you hear something, say something. If you smell something, say something. If you don't say it, you'll never know if somebody else is feeling, hearing, sensing the same thing as you. And if you say, oh, I feel cold right now, or I'm sensing sadness right now, say it out loud, and maybe someone else in your group can validate that, or someone who's leading the tour or the ghost hunt can validate that. But that being said, and I think that most of us know, it's especially when you're kind of new to this, and I still consider myself new to this. Sometimes you don't want to open your mouth. Oh, nobody wants to know that I just heard a whisper in my ear say that they're going to think I'm whatever because I'm new. And you learn, you've got to see something, say something. And I learned that from Christy very, very early on.
Yeah.
And so when we go to someplace, if anybody asks me, can I give somebody advice? I try to say that. If you see or hear or sense something, say something. Maybe someone else can validate it, and they're afraid to say it too.
Yeah.
I also think, certainly as couples, you guys have that thing between you as you know that any long-term couple has, that you can finish each other's sandwiches. No,
I'll finish her ice cream.
Yeah.
Does that a lot.
but and also anybody people who have children, not just mothers but fathers, have there's certain things that we do in life that help develop our skills, and not everybody has children that's intuitive. But my point is, sometimes there's things that we do, long-term relationships with children, other things that heighten our sense of awareness, or we get more in tune to people. I think that Sue and Nathan, you guys work really well together, and Cybil and Evan, you guys work really well together. I want to share a picture of Evan. I love this picture. I showed it to him last night.
Ah,
Evan, we were in the basement of the Weymouth
Teen
Center.
Center.
I don't know if
And-
he's sleeping or if he's really
I was
concentrating.
He's
trying.
getting into it.
I was trying so hard to, and this is one of the things I'd like to develop, is be able to listen to those headphones and actually understand what's going on with them, because it's
hard
really
to hear.
difficult for me to. I know what's being said, but either I'm afraid to say it, like that word makes no sense. And once you get into that state of mind, like I see why people, when they put the headphones on, they just blurt out whatever they want, whatever they hear, because with me, I'm like, oh, I can't say that word, or that's not the right word. But that's me
Well, Evan-
concentrating. That's my concentration look right there.
Evan, all those points that I validated for Sue, the baseball player, the high school, the illness, the pharmacy, the soda fountain, most of that information that I looked up from Sue came from an Estes session, didn't it? That was her like saying
Really?
things out there, and she, yeah. So say it. You hear it, say it. And I really validated a laundry list. Not only were these points validated, but they're interconnected. They're part of. They seem to be part of one or two stories. It's not like, oh, there was there was a pharmacy there. Yep, there was a baseball field there. Yep. No, there seems to be a story coming out of these things that
you don't know what every word is, but when you put all the words together, it does. And that's the other thing. Sometimes I'll be like, well, I didn't really get anything last night. But part of it is, if I'm not contributing, I don't know or if we don't contribute as a group, we don't know what we're not getting, because there's no. Now, the only thing came to me last night was the name Samuel when somebody asked for names. I'm like, yeah, well, Samuel is it's a period name. Like, that's obviously there's Sam that, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's not a real name.
An hour later, or less than an hour later, somebody literally said Samuel Adams.
Really?
Somebody literally said that after you picked up on that name. So, I mean, it is a period name, and Samuel, but yes, somebody said that because he was one of the people that read those letters on the street corner in Boston that brought the Hutchinsons down. So again, say it, you hear it say, and that house, I find, and anybody who's been there, correct me if I'm wrong, that house will talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Will it not? It will whisper to you. It will send feelings through you. That house will touch you. That house will interact with you when you walk into it with an open mind. I also want to say about the Peter Oliver house, a little bit of not really a switching gears, because we all were there last night, but in my experience at the Peter Oliver house, it's one of my favorite places to go, we always know that it tends to deliver when things are the quietest. And it was a very fun night last night. There were a lot of people, a lot of laughs, a lot of chocolate going on. It was just a very fun night. But I found that Elaine and I tucked ourselves away in one of the smaller rooms upstairs towards the end of the night, and there was nobody walking around us. And it was at that few moments time where we had some real silence, that we feel that we had some interaction going on. She set some rope lights. We had some interaction on the rope lights. We had some interaction on the K2 meter. I'm curious to go over my night vision footage. And then as people started moving around outside the room, we looked at each other and we said, "Did you feel that?" And she said to me, "Yeah, I did." The energy in that room just shut right off. And we felt it shut right off.
I feel it happens a lot. If there's the fewer people, the quieter it is, the more you'll end up getting.
Yeah. And I think that the Oliver house is just is really just that way. Is that really delivers when things are quiet. But well, look at this. Look at this.
What?
Further validation, Evan. Samuel Adams visited the Oliver house as well.
But yeah, and when you said name, it said Samuel. Like,
yeah,
when you get that kind of a thing that pops in, like quick, within a millisecond, say it. What happens if you're wrong? Nobody's gonna say get out of here. You know what I mean?
So
you don't get any dessert. You know.
I just realized I've been replying to some people, but I connected to YouTube, so I wonder if only people are seeing my replies on YouTube and not Facebook.
I'm trying to share some of the comments. So I'm getting so big I need a moderator. It's hard to comments at the same time, you know. So we've been talking about our psychic abilities and our feelings and the things that we've picked up on. And I've certainly had experiences in the Oliver house, very personal experience. I've been touched in that house. I got pushed against a wall in that house. But as far as equipment goes, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me backtrack. Can I share a few photos? Can I switch gears here, guys? I want to share a few photos. I shared this picture of Evan. And Evan, again, I really want to encourage you because you've got some good talents too.
Thank you.
Stop, yeah. So I want to share this picture from Sue. I think I have a couple copies of it. So this is at the Peter Oliver house. And if anybody knows the legend of the Pukwudgie, Christy, I know you know the legend of the Pukwudgie. If you don't, please look it up. It's a cool story. It's a cryptid known in the Bridgewater Triangle. You can see in the top left, there's a little thing in the lower picture. I zoomed in and circled it. Now, let me see. Which one is that? Because I got
outside. I think those are the same picture.
They are zoomed in. I've got other. So in these two, what is crossing the driveway at the Peter Oliver house? So if you look at the top left picture, that thing is on one side of the driveway, and in the second picture on the lower right, that thing has crossed
the darker thing there.
Yeah,
no kidding.
See how it moved? Like
Christy loves this absolutely, and there I in this one you'll see that they're circled.
Whose picture is that? Who's
in the left? You're on one side of the driveway, and in the right, it's on the other. So Sue really nailed it with those pics.
Yeah. She actually had, it was a series of three pictures.
So the first picture, there was nothing. And then the second was that little blurry guy, like materializing or whatever. It was kind of like, and then the third was when he was stepping next to the wall.
Well,
And the funny thing is, I didn't like see that,
yeah, right.
but for whatever reason, I turned and took 3 pictures out the window on the second floor.
You
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
see
it's
anything
funny
when you
if
took
you
I
it.
didn't
You
know, and
had
then later on,
Yeah, you had
if
that.
you
Right.
look behind that,
feeling.
if you put that picture, I don't know if you can put it back up, but if you look a little further in the background in both pictures,
To the right.
to the well, in the picture on the right, in the back, you'll see another shadow about,
Hmm.
I don't know, let's say 20 or 30 feet back that hasn't crossed the driveway yet. And you can also see it.
It's the same picture.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's the
Well,
same
it's
picture.
well.
Oh, yes.
I see it. I wish I could use my cursor on this. You guys can't see my cursor, can you?
No.
no.
I see it. It's to the right, and it's on the opposite side of the driveway, about 3/4 of the way down.
Yes.
I see it, Evan. I see it. I'm gonna
Walking like towards the road.
later today. I'll blow this up a little more, and I can see it on my computer screen, even my
And I
distant
believe that that's all part of her intuition. Like, she didn't
so.
just randomly look out the window. Like, something told her, look out, like, take a picture. Like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It
And
was
I'm
Yeah,
weird.
also glad that you followed the succession of 3.
Yeah,
That
that's
so
right.
that you had other things to compare it to. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I don't have the first one in there. I also want to share another picture. This is not from the Peter Oliver house. This is one of my favorite pieces of evidence ever, and it's photographic. I was with Sue and Nathan. Christy, you're in this picture as well. We were actually, and Cybil and Evan, you know where we are. We were at the Weymouth
The
Teen Center.
police station teen center.
So yeah. So let me put this picture up. Okay. And
Oh.
nobody say anything. I just want to say 1, 2, 3. You see 4 people in this picture. The only thing that I had done on my camera was I had slowed the shutter speed down to allow as much light in as possible. I do have a photo previous and a photo after this, and I didn't include them in this. So I just wanted to get to the meat and potatoes on this. Okay. So the only thing that I did was I slowed down the shutter speed to let as much light in as possible. There was definitely some type of light overhead, that pink light, but it was very small and very minute. And there's no other light sources. And these slow shutter speeds allow for you to take pictures in almost pitch darkness. And they let as much light in as possible. So, like I said, anybody looking at this picture, you see a girl in a light sweatshirt with a bun. And then to her right in the middle, you see Nathan with a black t-shirt. You can see his ear, and it looks like he's looking to the side, and it looks like he's looking to that blonde guy. There's a blonde guy to Nathan's left. And then on the right of the picture, we see Christy with a plaid shirt. I can see her jeans and sneakers, and Christy is looking to the right as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that you all see 1, 2, 3, 4 people in that picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so see the blue arrow pointing to that blonde guy?
Yeah.
He wasn't there. Nathan, you know this, and Sue, you know this, and Christy, I think you know this because I've showed this to you before. There were only 3 people in this picture when I took it. The girl with the sweatshirt with the bun, Nathan in the black t-shirt to her left, and he's looking to his left, and you see his hair and his ear, and then Christy standing up to the right. That man that you see with the blonde hair, and I see his eyes, and I see his nose, and I see him leaning forward. It almost looks like Nathan's showing him something.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of like, yeah.
Do we see this, right? We see this,
Yeah.
and then we see this.
Same like hair style and everything. Like,
So who is that?
That
Is a bad man.
Oh, is that the guy?
that
Gary?
is
Gary?
the serial killer, Gary Lee Sampson, who somebody out there has got to do some looking up on how many serial killers got a middle name of Lee. But I'm telling you, and thank you guys. It is amazing evidence. It is, to me, it's absolutely mind blowing. And I remember Kathy was saying, "Oh, we don't want that bad energy here." But honestly, I think two things. I think if that person, if Gary Lee Sampson were there at that time, I think a couple of things. I think one, it would be not unreasonable to think that Gary Sampson had spent at least one night in the drunk tank in the Weymouth jail, which is what this building used to be, because he is from that area. Secondly, Gary Lee Sampson being from that area, perhaps he's drawn to the Weymouth Teen Center because the Weymouth Teen Center is a really safe place for troubled kids to go. And if Gary Sampson had had a place like the Weymouth Teen Center,
Maybe he wouldn't have turned out.
maybe he would, because in the very end, Evan, Gary Sampson was calling the FBI saying, "Stop me, stop me."
Yeah.
Wow.
So perhaps we don't know what
I
kind
think that for
of
sure. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, Christy says that's the former cop, Joe, and I cannot dispute that because where we were
He's a
was
cop.
the offices
I remember the
of
cop.
the former police station. So
I
Christy
remember the
says
cop
that,
named Joe.
so
we
that
did
is
talk with
very
Joe a lot.
interesting. I'm gonna
No, I
have to look up a picture of that guy.
Well, that night we were there, well, not that night. The last time we were there, we came up with Joe a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he came up several
You know,
times.
I know. Was that?
And there
I
were
don't know if that
several
was the
different
same night.
Joes. So I
Yeah,
don't
they
that
were.
were cops, they were officers. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's such an active building.
yeah.
Anyways, thank you for that information. I'm going to pop this back up there again. Christy said that she has seen his picture, so I would have to take that as validation for sure. But the main thing that we are showing you here is that when I took that photograph, there were only 3 people there. Again, the girl in the sweatshirt with the bun, Nathan, and Christy.
Yeah.
And that building always has a lot to say. So anybody want to does anybody want to ask me anything? Or not? Don't even worry about it. I'm teasing you guys. It's putting people on the spot.
So,
I was just gonna say, this has been always a lot of fun, and I'm so happy that you're taking this to the next level, because your level of commitment and courage and like just energy is amazing, and it really helps us to. And we look forward to doing it and being around you. So just keep up the good work, and the green screen looks great, by the way. And I think it makes all of us look great. So.
I appreciate everything, and I feel the same. I feel like when I get together with you guys, especially with you, Cybil, there's just a really good energy to what we do, and definitely looking forward to taking things to the next level. So listen, guys, we've been going for an hour and 15, so I'm going to start winding things down. Thank you for those very, very kind words, Evan.
You got it.
God, you guys, thank you. Look, we have got, and there's Aaron. We have got a million comments. I will throw this out there. Anybody who commented will get their name thrown in, or if it's your first comment, it'll be your first time being thrown in. Anybody who's commented,
what just happened? There's a scary baby.
Doll head.
We'll be raffling off this brand new creepy doll head EMF detector. It is a $50 value. And the drawing will be April 25th. It is a raffle, and like I said, everybody who commented will get another drop in the bag there. But you guys, I love hanging out with you guys. I love investigating with you guys. We have to plan an outing where we're not investigating and we're just hanging out.
And soon.
And
yeah,
definitely
soon. Thank you for having us, Jennifer. This has been awesome. And your dedication, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
I love that. I love your work ethic.
Yeah.
And you uncover all kinds of stuff.
And
I love the people you have on your shows. They're just great.
Thank you. Sorry. Christy's going to be, Christy, I will not put your name in that raffle draw. Don't worry. Okay. Nope. It's too funny.
Christy wants
That's
no
too
part of
funny.
it.
So,
You had
guys, I'm going to sign off my guests and just do a quick goodbye. Thank you. You were wonderful guests. Had a
Thank you.
great
Nice
time
to see
hanging out with you
everybody.
last night.
Bye.
Can't wait
Great
to
Sunday.
I think where we have like a all of us definitely coming up in April, and definitely some things coming up. Thank you guys. You were awesome guests. Farewell for now. Like I said, stick around. I'm going to say my goodbyes on screen. I am going to take you guys off. Thanks again. You were all wonderful
Take care.
guests.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh my God, was this like the best gals coffee hour ever? Yes, it was. I want to say thank you so much to my guests, Cybil and Evan, and to Sue and Nathan. I want to thank you to everybody who tuned in today, everybody who commented. Christy, as always, your insight is always welcome, and your experience is always welcome. And everybody who commented, Joy, it was just such a pleasure interacting with you. And Erin, thank you for showing up. Looking forward to hanging out more with Erin. Will and Kathy, thank you for letting me share your story, Will. And let's see, anybody else? Trisha Lindsay, you watched. I really appreciate that. My cousin Rochelle, thank you so much. This was really, really an amazing show, you guys. Thanks for watching our Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies Valentine special with two of my favorite paranormal couples, Sue and Nathan, and Evan and Cybil. And again, thank you everybody for commenting, and thank you, Christy, my special guest commentator, for your wisdom, your humor, your experience, everything. We can't wait to hang out with everybody again really, really soon. Take care and have a great Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody. Signing off.